Spiros and Mayank, welcome. First of all, I want to start off by congratulating you on your $125 million Series A led by Lightspeed at a $1 billion valuation.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So let's go back to the beginning. Why did you found Resolve?
So Mayank and I know each other for 20 years.
21.
21, actually, yes. When I dropped out of my PhD and started my first company, I tried many times to convince him to join us, but I wasn't successful. Finally, since 2012, we started working together, and it has been an amazing partnership. And one thing that has been true all this time is that actually developing software is not the hard part. It's running, maintaining, and improving it. And that's the part that is hard on any individual who has to wake up in the middle of the night. But it's also the part of the software development process that slows us down. It's when you build a large system is what makes it slow and what makes you actually stop developing new features and kills velocity. For the first time, we really have an opportunity to build agents that do the work of humans, make their lives easier, and accelerate technology.
And I would add that with ResolveAI, we are not trying to build yet another tool because engineers already have too many tools that they use to accomplish work. What we are trying to do is automate the work that engineers have to do using these tools. And finally, we have the underlying technology with models, with their reasoning capability, with their ability to make tool calls to automate these workflows end to end.
So a lot of people are working on this problem. What makes it so hard to get right?
Running production is hard for humans, but it's also hard for models. You're dealing with a plethora of tools, each one of which has their own unique challenges. You're dealing with software that is changing all the time. You're dealing with dynamic infrastructure. And then production is never documented. Usually it's spread out across tools, documents, and human minds. So you need to build AI that can essentially incorporate all this expertise that humans have, software engineers, SREs, infrastructure engineers. It can use all the tools that are in place that were not designed for agents, and at the same time learn and become better constantly as it works with software engineers, SREs, and IT ops people.
And I would add that engineers are very demanding professionals, right? And especially when fighting incidents and troubleshooting alerts, that's perhaps the most stressful time as an engineer because every single minute counts. Every minute of downtime could mean millions of dollars of lost revenue. And during that time, the bar at which AI has to produce work is extremely high. Every claim needs to be backed by evidence. Everything needs to be verified against multiple different data sources. And so for AI to meet and even exceed the bar for what humans accomplish, it requires really thinking through the UX with which you build this product, making sure you have very high quality answers in a very timely manner, and then choosing the right models or even going above and beyond the capabilities that models might have.
So tell me, what is AI for prod and what makes it different from AI coding agents?
As a software engineer, when I run my systems, I have to deal with 10 of tools. Actually, I'm the operator of each one of these tools, and then I'm the glue across them. And that's both hard, it's stressful when something goes wrong, and it slows us down. So AI for production is this intelligent layer that sits on top of all these tools, from code to observability to infrastructure. It brings it all together and allows me now to move to a level of abstraction that is higher and focus on solving problems rather than managing tools.
And this is very important because when incidents happen or when I'm trying to debug production, a lot of time is spent in figuring out which is the right tool that has the data, figuring out the right query. Each of these tools have their own syntax. Rather, you want to have your best engineers spending time on reasoning about the problem and not worrying about the semantics of which tool to use and how. This saves you a lot of time, a lot of complexity, uplevels the engineers. It can mean that the senior engineer does not need to be brought into every single incident.
To switch gears a bit, what value are customers getting from ResolveAI today?
It is amazing to see this early in the life of a company to have customers like Salesforce, Coinbase, DoorDash, Zscaler using us in production. And the reason they do that is because it solves one of the hardest problems in software engineering, which is how do you run, improve, and maintain production, and within that, how especially you're dealing with incidents and alerts when something goes wrong. We have seen examples where customers get like a dramatic improvement in how quickly they can resolve incidents and improve reliability, and more importantly, make the lives of engineers who are dealing with these problems a lot better.
And I would also add that we have built ResolveAI as a collaborative natural language platform that is not just limited to helping with incidents, but with any production problem. And what we have found is that engineers started using us for day-to-day troubleshooting, for becoming more proactive in their operations, and of course during incidents. So there's a lot of interesting patterns that have emerged in how people are using ResolveAI to solve all aspects of production.
What's different about building this company now
When we started Resolve, Mayank and I were intentional about a few things. We wanted to work on a problem that was very impactful, but also very difficult technically. We believe that was the way, not only to have a lot of impact, but also work with other people who are very smart and very passionate about solving difficult problems and could join us on this mission. And as a result, where we are now, I think we have built this company that everybody works in person, everybody's passionate about the problem itself. We all are engineers for the most part, and we have felt this pain before. And also, I never worked this hard in my life, but also feel very privileged to be part of this technological evolution and working with other people in solving problems that have never been solved before.
I would argue this is the most fun time to be a software engineer, and we are solving some of the hardest problems in this era. And working in person with very, very smart people who take a lot of ownership, who are very hungry to solve hard problems, make a lot of career impact, achieve a lot of growth. Just a lot of fun to come to the office every day. There is no ego. It's a culture of meritocracy. Everyone is able to take on a lot of ownership and kind of deliver a lot of impact. It's really a privilege to be part of this kind of era in technology where things are moving very, very fast, and we are able to contribute to the growth of the industry.
Tell me, how are you planning to use these funds?
So this is an amazing milestone for the company, and we're very proud to have become a unicorn. But also, as multiple-time founders, we both know very well, this is just the tool, it's the means to an end. And the end for us is building software that makes the life of software engineers a lot easier, and that's what we're all about as a company. We're going to grow the team quite a bit over the next 1 year to be able to satisfy the demand we see, and we're going to go much deeper into the modeling layer to become a full-stack company that has agents, the data, and the model.
What advice would you give to executives thinking about AI strategy these days?
The thing that is in the mind of every CTO is, how do I move faster? How do I achieve faster engineering velocity? And of course, over the last 1 year, we have seen that coding agents can accelerate that quite a bit. But in practice, especially in large organizations, coding is only a small fraction of where engineers spend their time. The rest is running production, improving it, maintaining. And I think unless we really address that well, which is what we do with agents, we're not going to be able to move a lot faster.
And I would add, especially because of how fast coding agents are able to produce code, it makes the rest of the production problem even more important to solve now compared to before, because we have had less time to digest this code. We have less processes around rolling them out. And it's extremely important that AI helps us manage all aspects of software engineering, not just code creation.
Okay, so last question. Where do you see Resolve AI 1 year from now?
Resolve AI today is already at the point where our agents are as effective for running production as coding agents are for creating code. But we're still at the very beginning of this journey. Over the next 1 year, we expect that by creating our own models, we're going to be able to get to a level of quality where agents are not only going to be able to assist humans with the work, but they're going to be able to take action and solve problems on their own. And maybe if you extrapolate 2-3 years out, I think agents are going to be able to do work a lot faster, better, and higher quality than even human software engineers.
And I definitely think we are heading towards a world where agents can take autonomous actions and really offload the amount of grunt work that engineers have to perform to accomplish their work. So if today engineers are spending 70-80% of their time on grunt work, I would imagine that in a year or so from now, engineers are spending most of their time on creative work.
Spiros and Mayank, thank you for your time, and congratulations again.
Thank you.
Thank you.